Hey Tallahassee, I'm student meteorologist Lindsay Parmet here with FSU weather. Currently we're looking over Doak Campbell Stadium. It's kind of cool, definitely rainy outside at 57 degrees. So if you're going out within the next hour or so, be sure to bring that rain jacket, maybe even that umbrella. As we can see, there is this rain system that's moving in, and it's going to cause some light rain conditions. However, it's nothing that's absolutely worrisome. And if we look at the country as a whole, we are going to see that there is this low pressure system down here, which is causing that sort of rain system that we're experiencing down in the southeast. For tonight, it's going to drop down to 44, so if you're going out to walk your dog or going for a run, be sure to bring that sweatshirt, maybe even an umbrella. It is going to be mildly rainy. For the 3-day, we are going to see Friday a high of 55, Saturday a high of 60, and Sunday a high of 68, with our lows anywhere from the low 30s to the mid 40s. FSU weather starts now.
Good evening, folks. I'm student meteorologist Dylan Leith here.
I'm student meteorologist Chris Knoll.
We've had to deal with another day of those muggy conditions, kind of feeling gloomy outside, not really seeing the sun, but we have some good news. Relief is in sight.
Yeah, relief is in sight. It is a bit rainy right now, as I can hear some of the rain in the background.
Yeah.
But if you're going out to the women's basketball game,
right,
you definitely want to be bringing an umbrella or even a rain jacket because you can't necessarily bring an umbrella into the arena.
Right. Games at 7 o'clock p.m. at the Donald Tucker Civic Center. They're playing Wake Forest, so should be a good game, another ACC opponent. There's other sports activities you'll talk about in your lifestyle forecast later on. We do have women's tennis tomorrow.
Yeah, women's tennis. Tomorrow's also shaping up to be a fantastic day. So if you want to see women's tennis and also women's beach volleyball, too, are both playing tomorrow.
Women's tennis is at 11 p.m. at the tennis courts over by the Leach, thank you. And then the volleyball game is at 4 o'clock, also in the same kind of area at the beach volleyball courts next to Spirit Garage.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then we also have one of our favorite golf time activities, golf. Intercollegiate tournament at Golden Eagle Saturday and Sunday if you want to watch your men's golf team and support them play some golf. And go over to Golden Eagle Country Club. It's hidden gem, I've heard.
Yeah, there's one weathercaster who would not stop talking about it.
Yeah, speaking of that one weathercaster who won't stop talking about it, you'll actually hear from him right now. Michael, you're on the wall.
Yeah, Donut and Chris, I've heard interesting things about Golden Eagle, so I'm interested. I want to check that out this weekend. But it's been a very wet southeast today. You've seen all this rain across Mississippi, Alabama, Georgia, and the Carolinas, even northern part of Florida. Feels like it wouldn't stop raining up towards Birmingham and Atlanta for this month of February, honestly. But that rain is going to slowly move out as we go into the next few hours, and it's going to be much better for tomorrow. We even have some snow up towards Raleigh, and that's a very interesting thing for them up there. They actually have some winter storm warnings up there. But all of this is due to a low-pressure system currently located in the Gulf, and it's been fueling this moisture up towards the southeast for the course of today. But again, that's going to move out as we go into tonight and clear out the skies for tomorrow. Absolutely sunny conditions expected. But for the next few hours, especially in central Alabama and central Georgia, in the Macon, Montgomery, and Auburn area, they are under a flash flood watch until 1 a.m. tomorrow morning. So there's still some flooding concerns up there, and so just be careful for the next few hours because of that. Now the temperatures, it is pretty chilly north of that front. You saw down towards the north central Florida. We have a lot of 40s, 45 in Montgomery, 41 in Atlanta. It's been a very raw day up there. And then up towards Charlotte and Raleigh, we do have some snow since it's cold enough for that. They're in the low to mid-30s because of that. And you can see south of that front, really nice and warm conditions in Orlando with 83 degrees down there, 57 here in Tallahassee. The dew points are also much lower north of that front and the low pressure system, with some tropical dew points down towards Orlando, Tampa, and Miami. So it is feeling very muggy down there, but not too bad up there. But with the rainy conditions over those regions, it doesn't feel that nice. Again, it's basically a raw day out there with 40-degree temperatures and rainy conditions. Now with the winds, you can also notice where this low pressure system is. Northerly winds behind it with some southerly winds ahead of it. So the low pressure system is right just south of Tallahassee, basically. And it's pretty breezy behind this cold front with 21 miles per hour in Jackson and 15 in Nashville as well. Now, for the next 6 to 10 days, unfortunately for the Carolinas and Alabama and Georgia, but fortunately for Florida, wet conditions are still expected with some drier conditions out towards Texas and the Mississippi River Valley. And we do need the rain out towards Tallahassee. Chris and I are going to talk about why it's drier in Tallahassee compared to other places in the southeast like Birmingham and Atlanta. So for the next 24 hours, that system does move out. We will have some lingering snow up towards the Carolinas, so another 3 to 5 inches expected up there. And then the rain does move down towards the I-4 and I-75 corridor down towards Central and South Florida. But finally, for tomorrow's forecast, much nicer conditions across the interior portions of the southeast with some cooler conditions as well, and then some rainy conditions, especially in Central and South Florida. Now let's send it off to Chris with our first local.
Yeah, thank you, Michael. As we're starting to move on into this, right now, our satellite radar, you can see this rain really sticking around the Tallahassee area, finally starting to move through. It was situated above Alabama and Mississippi for most of yesterday. It's finally starting to push on into our area. And you can even see some more heavy rainfall down by Panama City. But moving into our temperature map right now, you can really see where this front is starting to impact, whereas 47 degrees in Donaldsonville, it's 57 degrees in Tallahassee. There's not that far distance between them. With such a large temperature gradient, that front's coming in and is really starting to knock those temperatures down. Overall, it's been a very wet day. Our dew points, as that front's coming in, it's going to slowly start dropping our dew points down. Below the front, we're feeling very raw. Definitely feeling the humidity with 65 degrees in St. Mark's. On our muggy meter, it's not looking too bad. Carabel, it's humid as well as Samarta. But as that front's going in, our humidity is going to go down, and we're going to start seeing those more smiling faces. So we're going in, wind speed. We got most of those winds coming out of the north. As that front finally starts to push through, those winds are going to get gustier. It is 16 knots in Tallahassee right now, 17 in Valdosta. It's only 5 in Perry, but as that front goes through, those winds are going to start kicking up. Going into the next 24 hours, right now this main line of storms is going to start pushing on through the area. And after that, there's going to be some cloud cover. But once those clouds go away, it's shaping up to be a beautiful day for Friday and leading on into Saturday. But tonight's forecast, another meteorologist might say it's raw. I wouldn't say it's raw. It's just going to be super cold, super wet. Personally, I don't think raw is a great way to describe the atmosphere. But if you're going out tonight, want to have your umbrella, want to have your jackets, it's not going to be a pleasant night to go outside. Tomorrow, though, if you don't mind temperatures in the mid-50s, it's going to be fantastic. Partly cloudy skies throughout all of the Tallahassee area. Going into our 7-day, Friday, it's going to be a beautiful day. Saturday is going to warm up a little bit, but you're going to wake up to that low in 32 degrees. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, you got some more storms coming in on the way. But for now, I'm going to pass things off to Michael and Lindsay at the desk.
Yeah, thanks, Chris. And we've been seeing a lot of neat images of the snow up in the Carolinas, and it's been pretty intense up there, especially in eastern Tennessee and North Carolina.
Yeah, Raleigh's experiencing some snowfall right now.
Yeah, and we saw the setup in the southeast where you had the low pressure system out towards the Gulf of Mexico, and a lot of that moisture is overriding that front. And it is below freezing in the Carolinas, and so we have sufficient amount of moisture for some pretty significant snowfall.
Definitely, and they are, from what it seems like from the radar images, going to experience at least a little bit of snowfall.
Yeah, and it's very interesting how some places in the southeast, including the Carolinas today, have more snowfall for the winter months than some places like New York City and Philadelphia. Philadelphia has only seen 0.3 of an inch of snow. Meanwhile, in Raleigh today, they're getting 4 to 6 inches of snow just today.
Yeah, I mean, and we are experiencing tonight that throughout the day, the southeast region is going to experience about 1 to 2 inches of snow.
Yeah.
In general.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And our ground temperatures are in the 50s, which is usually difficult for snow to accumulate, but as it cools down tonight, should drop.
Yeah, what we're going to be concerned about for tomorrow morning is a lot of the Carolinas and North Georgia are going to be below freezing in terms of their air temperature, and so whatever leftover moisture is on the ground is going to refreeze. So for a result, a lot of school systems are delaying their openings because of that, just because travel conditions won't be safe enough for that.
Yeah, definitely. However, for now, we are going to pass things off to Dylan with a look at the national.
Thank you very much, guys. And you want to see a temperature change? This is a temperature change. 93 degrees in Miles City, negative 44 degrees Fahrenheit in Peter Sinks, Utah. That's an 137-degree temperature change. That is insane. If you go from those 90 degrees to those negative 44 degrees, how would you even dress? That's unheard of. But most of the story really being this low pressure system and that frontal boundary we've been talking about here in Tallahassee, bringing a lot of rain, even some snow and mixed areas into North Carolina, even parts of South Carolina. And as our producer Michael likes to talk about, Atlanta might have even seen some bit of a mix earlier on. High pressure coming in behind that to clear things out and cool things off. You do see our current temperatures staying mostly in those blue, colder temperatures. A lot of the coldest areas sitting into the northeast, closer to Canada. We did see that negative 44 in Utah. That's due to elevation in Salt Lake. It's only 44 degrees. So that's even an 80-degree temperature change from this morning in Sinks, Utah to Salt Lake City now. And out on the West Coast, seeing some warmer conditions as that marine effect takes into their area. A lot of the moisture is concentrated to the southeast down into Florida. Dry conditions situated through much of the U.S. Even out west, they do have a bit more moisture of an increase closer to that coastal region, and in those higher elevations seeing dry dew points as well. Wind telling a not super interesting story, but we do have some stronger winds now that that frontal boundary has moved through. Do see some 22 mile per hour winds in Dallas, 15 in San Antonio, and 17 in Memphis. So some gustier conditions behind the front. And we do have this drought that we've been talking about. Michael and Chris will talk about it later on. We do see some drought conditions here in Tallahassee. Out in the western parts of the country, they do have that drought, but relief is in sight. As you look at this next 48 hours, the frontal region clears out, conditions improve, and out west, rain builds into areas where they have some drier conditions. So this moisture and rain and even mix provides some nice relief from that drought conditions that they do have out west. And even here into Tallahassee, once this moves through, it does bring us some nicer conditions in terms of rainfall. For tonight, cold sets into the southeast, and you even do see some snow possible in Atlanta. 32 degrees is their low. Just a brief bit, maybe even some mix of precipitation there, but still rain engulfing the southeast for now. Out west, cool nonetheless, but not as cool as we're seeing here in the southeast. Phoenix getting down to only 62 degrees. And for tomorrow, clouds and rain start to build into Los Angeles and San Francisco. The southeast starts to clear out, and we have a lot of sunshine in our area. And as we take a look at your temperature outlook for your 6 to 10 day, once that front moves through, another front will move into our area, cool things off even more. We do see a possible cooler than average February 26th to March 1st than we are usually close to seeing. Out in the west, though, they'll see those warmer conditions for us here. Now let's send it over to Lindsay, who's got our next forecast.
So much, Dylan. So currently looking at the almanac, we are going to see today's high was super warm at 70, which is right about average for this time of year, with our low tonight at 63, a little above the average at 43. However, still comfortable. So currently it's 57 degrees, kind of soggy outside. So if you're going out to walk your dog or going maybe grocery shopping, be sure to bring that umbrella, even that rain jacket. It is going to cool down as we get later into the night. So for our satellite and radar, you are going to see that this system is moving through Tallahassee and it's going to bring some rain. However, as we get into tomorrow, it is going to clear up. Looking at our current temperature, Tallahassee's at about 57 degrees with some rain, and it's going to continue into tonight. Quincy up at 48 degrees and Monticello at 53. As we can see, the Big Bend region's temperatures are within the high 40s to the mid 60s. And looking at our dew points, currently Tallahassee's at 55, St. Mark's is at 65. Overall, not as uncomfortable as we could have been experiencing. However, could be worse, could be better. For our wind speed, Tallahassee is currently at 16 miles per hour, which is what most of the Big Bend region is experiencing, anywhere within the 10s range. So over the next 24 hours, what you can expect is that rain is going to pass through from now, tonight, into early tomorrow morning. That cloud coverage will pass through, which leaves us tomorrow with a beautiful day. But for tonight, expect it to drop all the way down to 44 degrees, cooler than what we experienced today with our high of 70. Expect rain, again, if you're going to walk that dog, maybe going for a run. Be sure to wear your rain jacket. Be sure to bring that umbrella. Overall, it's going to be cooler and wetter than what we've been used to from today during the day. Tomorrow, we have a high of 55. It's going to be beautiful tomorrow. Bring that sweatshirt as you walk to class. No rain to be expected. However, if it's a little chilly, bring that jacket. And it is going to be partially cloudy. For our 7-day, Friday, we're going to see that we do have that beautiful high of 55 with that low of 44. Again, bring that jacket if you're walking to class. No rain to be expected tomorrow. We do have a beautiful weekend ahead of us. Low to high 60s, but as it gets into the night, it is going to cool all the way down to 32 and 35, so be sure to bring that coat if you're going out. It's going to be chillier than what we are used to here. Monday and Tuesday, thankfully, it's going to warm up, and our lows are still going to be relatively warm compared to what the highs are. And as we get further into the week of Wednesday and Thursday, it's going to warm all the way up to high 50s into high 60s. However, for now, I am going to pass things off to the desk with Michael and Chris.
Yeah, thank you, Lindsay. Michael and I are actually going to start talking about drought that Tallahassee is currently in.
Yeah, if you're in parts of the Southeast, you're thinking, wait, there's actually drought in the Southeast? Yeah, there's only one place in the Southeast that has drought, and it's here in Tallahassee.
Yeah, if you look at the drought monitor, it's really just a bubble that's just encapsulating our region and only our region.
Yeah, it's basically just Leon, Jefferson, and McCullough County, and we were under a moderate drought for about a few months now. But just today, they updated the drought monitor, and now southern Leon, including Tallahassee, Wakulla, and some portions of southern Jefferson County are now under that severe drought. And when you read the drought monitor, you can actually access this online if you just search up the drought monitor on Google. They do mention in their discussion that the streams in the local region, so the smaller streams, are near record lows, but the Apalachicola River itself is at a record high.
Yeah, most of the rain hasn't been it's been falling everywhere around Tallahassee.
Yeah.
The rain just hasn't been hitting us, whether that's fortunate or unfortunate.
Yeah, because you have all those downstream releases from Georgia and Alabama. That's why Apalachicola River is so high compared to all the other streams in our local region.
Yeah, and while we may be in a drought, other areas of the Southeast are actually getting excess rainfall. For example, Atlanta is about 6.5 inches above average for February, while we are actually behind on our rainfall for February.
Yeah, you can see our rainfall almanac for today. We are getting rain right now, so this is going to improve over the course of tonight. But we do have about 1 inch and 3/4 for the month, which is below normal for the month. But we're well below normal for the year, almost more than 4 inches below normal for the year.
Yeah, we've been hoping we can get a little bit more rainfall here in Tallahassee, but for more on that, we're actually going to send things to the wall with Michael.
Yeah, we're going to take a look at what's really happening in the state of Florida, and you'll notice that we'll see that it's been pretty wet in the Panhandle today. A lot of rain has fallen in Pensacola, Panama City, and Destin. But out towards the center part of the state and Miami, it's actually been a pretty warm and honestly nice day out there with temperatures in the 80s. You can see mainly clear conditions basically south of I-10, but the Panhandle right now getting their share of rainfall. You can really tell where this front is actually right now. 54 in Tallahassee, 55 in Pensacola. Gainesville is right in the borderline of that front at 67, and then south of it, look at Orlando, 83 degrees right now, and it's February, at 6:15. It's pretty warm down there. 80 in Fort Myers and 81 in Miami. And you can also tell where this front is with the dew points. A lot of tropical air ahead of this front with 67 in Tampa, 64 in Orlando, and a 74-degree dew point in Key West. But it is drier out towards Pensacola and Tallahassee as that northerly wind is starting to bring in that drier air from the north. So 53 in Pensacola and 52 in Tallahassee. So for the Muggy Meter, pretty nice conditions. Even though it's raining right now, it feels comfortable out there. But it is a little muggy down towards Orlando, Tampa, and Fort Myers. So you have those whoa face of, yeah, it's feeling like late spring and early summer, not like the middle of winter. You can also tell why it's drier with these lower dew points in Tallahassee and Pensacola. You see that northerly wind starting to filter in that drier air, but we still have some wind coming off the Gulf and from the Caribbean in Orlando, Tampa, and everywhere basically south of the I-4 corridor. And for the next 24 hours, you start to notice the front moving through north central Florida overnight tonight into tomorrow morning. And so expect some rainy conditions out towards Gainesville and Orlando for your morning commute. And then that filters down as we go into South Florida with West Palm Beach and Miami getting their share of rain. Meanwhile, the north part of the state and the Panhandle and north central Florida, clouds will break and it will be much clearer after lunchtime for your Friday. So a great weekend in store for the southeast and for the state of Florida. So for tonight, temperatures are going to be cool as that colder air starts to filter in the northern part of the state. And then finally for tomorrow, a nice cool and below average day for February standards in Tallahassee and basically everywhere north of I-4 in the 50s with warmer conditions in South Florida. Now let's send it off to Chris with our lifestyle.
Thank you, Michael. Getting a good look at our weather stand camera. Can't see the sun at all. It's just hiding out behind these cloudy skies that we've been experiencing all day at the moment. But moving on into airport delays, the rainy conditions did not actually impact Tallahassee Airport with delays at the moment. It's still a little rainy, so be a little careful when you're walking around to your gates and whatnot, leaving their car at Tallahassee Airport. But nationally, airport delays, we're looking all in the green. It's been a pretty good day to be traveling by air as there hasn't been any main severe weather that knocked down some planes. FSU basketball away game. Saturday, I'm looking forward to it. I sadly can't drive up to North Carolina State, but I know Harrison sure is pumped for the game against the North Carolina Wolfpack. However, tomorrow, I will be here for the FSU home baseball game. First pitch is thrown at 6 o'clock. It's going to be 50 degrees, so you might want to wear a long sleeve shirt to it as it starts at 6 and temperatures are going to start to drop a little bit more around nighttime then. But Saturday is also looking like a great day to go to the res. You're going to have sunny skies. Your high is going to be 60 degrees. It's going to feel quite fantastic to go there. Tomorrow's dog walking forecast. It's going to be real cold in the morning. I would recommend walking your dog a little bit later when it's warmer. For a weekend planner, starting out 55 degrees on Friday. Saturday and Sunday are going to start warming up quite a bit. Overall, it's going to be a fantastic weekend. For now, I'm going to hand things off to Dylan for our last local look.
Thank you very much, Chris. And speaking of fantastic, something that isn't fantastic is our lack of rainfall here in Tallahassee. Only seeing observed 0.01 inches for us. We're half as much as we are for the month. It is dry out there, folks. We do need a bit of rain, and we are getting some of it today. We'll see an increase as we get the report tomorrow for today's rainfall as we go into tonight, and we'll see rainfall chances sticking around. Go on to look at our drought monitor Michael talked about on the desk. Locally, we are in a drought, severe to moderate drought, so grass might not be doing as well as it should be this time of year because they're expecting a little more rainfall, but we don't have it. Most of the big rain only in the drought. Rest of the areas in West Florida and into Georgia and Alabama staying relatively normal for this time of year in terms of drought. And look at this blanket of clouds and rain. We've got this here. A lot of the severe weather or the severe storms in this frontal system staying out west for now, moving just east of Panama City and north of East Point east of Funiac Springs for now. Coming into our area later in the evening, staying some light rain. But once those rain chances kind of move through the increased rainfall, we have some clearer skies and less rain as we saw a bit of drizzle just sticking around into the evening. This is all this rain in this frontal system due to these low pressure systems in the front dropping down, bringing some mixture of snow and rain into Raleigh as well. But here in Tallahassee, only seeing the rain. Unfortunately, no snow for us here, or fortunately forever who's watching at home. And then as we go into our temperatures right now, it's drizzly. You already start to see the effects of the front, 65 degrees in St. Mark's. Behind the frontal boundary, 47 degrees in Donaldsville and 48 in Quincy. But rain clouds and rain sticking just around in our area. And as we go into the next couple of hours, things clear out by 11 o'clock, maybe a drizzle or two, but clouds are sticking around through much of the evening and into the morning. We get to about 7 a.m. and you still got this blanket of clouds, so it's not going to cool off as much as we get into tomorrow night, just because this blanket's going to keep all that heat trapped inside. But once the clouds clear out by about 11, 12, you got a beautiful day and a beautiful evening. 6 o'clock, seeing clear skies, absolutely gorgeous conditions, looking into the 50s. Tonight, keeping more of the same rain chances and clouds sticking around. And tomorrow, you got those great conditions, partly cloudy in the morning, but clearing out in the evening. 55 degrees as your high for tomorrow. Great conditions in your 7-day forecast. Perfect on Friday, perfect on Saturday, and perfect on Sunday. After that, though, you got to deal with the rain coming back into our area and just a bit of a warm-up back into the low 70s. But that next cool area we talked about on the national segment, we saw 57 degrees is our high on Thursday. So that cold blast, that last just little bit of winter coming right back into our area. And now me and Lindsay will be on the desk talking, just closing out the show. I forgot I was on the segment.
Yeah.
Well, here I am.
How are you doing?
I'm doing great. I enjoy the colder conditions, and I like the form back to about winter-ish conditions.
I agree, and I like the rain. For a lot of people, it's depressing, but I feel like it's just like sort of relaxing. Like it gives you an opportunity to really like sit down with your homework if you have. And,
Yeah.
like, you don't get that bug of like, oh, I really want to go outside, but like I can't because I have homework.
Right. I wish it was possible, and I know this is physically impossible to have rain but no clouds. I'd like the sun with rain. I know sun showers are
yeah.
a thing, but like you don't get this rain that we've seen outside kind of with the sun.
No, yeah, that hard rain, but like with the sun. Interesting concept.
I wish that was a
like
thing,
it.
because you did say it was soothing and nice.
It is soothing, yeah, and I think with the sun it'd be great.
But, well, we got a mix of both this week. We have the rain now, cloudy conditions, perfect weekend, Friday, Saturday, and
Right.
Sunday. Then back to the rain as you would like. Great studying conditions for people who have midterms.
Definitely, and as midterm season comes up, it will be great conditions to just stay inside with a cup of coffee, maybe a cup of tea, do some studying, watch some TV.
Or pound those energy drinks, depending on how you study.
I'm
cram
trying to
it.
keep calm conditions. We're staying calm through midterm season, okay?
Just remember to stay calm during these midterms.
Yes.
It's very important to keep your mental health in consideration. Take it one step at a time, and don't worry about kind of
No,
going through
absolutely.
things.
And with flu season around, stress can amplify your immune system, or the weakening of your immune system, rather. So be sure that you're taking care of yourself while you're in midterm season and stressing out, because it really is important for your mental health as well as your physical.
Yeah, but if you want to keep up to date with the weather conditions, you can always follow us on Twitter or like us on Facebook as well.
Be sure to watch us on YouTube as well. We're not live right now, but we will be getting there shortly, I promise.
Yeah, we're in the process of making that happen. You can also follow us on Instagram. Sloan has been doing a perfect job of putting up viewer photos. But from all of us here at FSU Weather, I'm student meteorologist Dylan Leith.
I'm student meteorologist Lindsay Parmet, and have a great night, Tallahassee.